Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we have a very special preview for you. I'm here with Jamie Jolly from Shadowborn Games, and we're talking about Oathsworn, one of the biggest Kickstarters from last year, very successful campaign, and this video is really a big campaign update for all of you. Jamie, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
And give us some update. Where do you stand with this game, and where did you come from? And tell us more just about the world of Oathsworn.
Well, Oathsworn is this kind of mad dream of a game. It was 3 years in the making before we brought it to Kickstarter, and we were just working on it every hour God gave us to make this cool world and this big, elaborate dark fantasy game. And so we've really tried to sort of raise the bar in a whole bunch of areas and push out the boat out with this one. So the game is called Oathsworn, and Oathsworn are the group of players characters that you're playing during the game. So the Oathsworn are kind of these badass hombres, the protectors of humanity that basically stand in the breach between civilization and these terrible monsters that come out of something called the Deepwood. Now the Deepwood is basically came around hundreds and hundreds of years ago and collapsed civilization when it came, and now all that's left of humanity lives in these quarantine cities. They're like islands in a sea of death and trees, and if that wasn't bad enough, then the monsters came, and then the humanity in reaction to that had to create this giant pact, and they formed the Free Companies made of these Oathsworn characters, and there's all different types of characters from different races coming together to fight off the stuff from the dark, and that's who you're playing in this game. And so the game itself is this sort of massive legacy-like game. It's 21 chapters, and we really want to focus on there being lots of different monsters that you would fight, different mechanics, and we have these. I suppose one of the big kind of hooks in the game is that you have the monsters are mysteries to you. Is that the game itself unravels over time, and when you open the game, you don't actually know what you're fighting. You go into each chapter kind of with it hidden away from you, and you go on this big hunt beforehand through the story mode, using traveling across these beautiful maps drawn by Francesca Berold, and then you go through this story, making all your choices, hopefully learning about what you're about to fight and gaining advantages, and then eventually you're told to open this mystery box, and you get this giant chest. You open the chest, inside there's a box. You open the box, and out pops this giant, massive 120mm monster that you're fighting with its own custom AI deck and all these sort of glorious ways of trying to kill you. And your job is to try and survive. It really is kind of you're just trying to survive long enough to bring this thing down, and that's the story. And so we have 17 unique encounters in that, and each one has its own mechanics and things, so you're just adding new mechanics over time, but they're like boss mechanics to the game, and there's all these mystery boxes and envelopes and things that you're opening as you go. So we really spent a lot of effort trying to sort of push the boat out in what can be done with a grand mystery game, and we're just so thankful to the community because they funded it, and now we're actually going to be able to make it, so it's been wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. And that's some of the big draw of this game is just the storytelling and some of that choose your own adventure elements to it, right? And then that giant boss battle, where one of the things I liked about the boss battles with those creatures is the fact that you can roll as many dice as you want. It's a big push your luck with exploding dice. A ton of fun because I'm a huge dice guy.
Yeah, you can choose dice or you can choose cards. It depends which way you want to go with it. You see, we're one of the wonderful things about having such a elaborate, luxurious game is you can we've made this play your way system. So we've been able to include it so that combat resolution is done through either cards or dice, depending on your preference. And we thought, why make people choose? So you can, if you want to play it safe, play by the numbers, you can go for the card system. But if you want the glory and tragedy of rolling dice, and see what happens, then you get that kind of great tactile bonus from that. And so we've included both in the game. And as you said, it's like this exploding dice system, exploding card system. So you push your luck. You choose how many cards you're going to attack with, rather than you getting told what to do. You get to choose how hard to swing that weapon. And but if you draw two blanks, the whole thing misses. And so you can end up with this situation that you can go for glory and draw all these cards, roll all these dice to try and take this thing down, or you can play it safe and just play a couple of cards, get that damage consistently ticking over. Take your time, pick it apart. So that's certainly one of the unique mechanics in the game. It's the push your luck exploding combat system.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed that aspect. All right, so this game has definitely evolved even during the campaign. What are some of the big things you're super excited about to deliver to the backers?
Oh my! Well, there's there's just been so much wonderful stuff that we were able to unlock. We funded to such a wonderful level that we've been able to unlock the full vision, of Oathsworn. So we unlocked 6 additional chapters. We unlocked all of these extra monsters and 6 fully playable characters. So we've got some really cool stuff on that side of things. There was a bunch of interesting mechanic characters that required a little bit more component-wise that we were able to add in, and that was great. So we've got this like one of them's the Grove Maiden, who's like a summoner class in our game, and she's this sort of a bio-architect. She creates all these giant turrets, and she has this ancient guardian that she's made herself, and it kind of does her bidding, going around the board, protecting others and battering the enemies. But then she builds all these turrets up, and so she's got to try and juggle this field of turrets that she creates to then bring them to bear on the monsters. And so she's always trying to place those in the right places, try and not get them killed, and build them up to such a point as they're doing really, really big damage. So that's like a Grove Maiden. And we got all this. So one of the things we wanted to do with our characters was them to have lots of unique mechanics. So that's like the Grove Maiden's mechanic. We've got the Huntress. The Huntress she was actually voted for by the community, and over the course of the campaign, we built that. That was so much fun. They picked what type of character they wanted to make and what she would do, and she's now got these 2 giant falcons that they start off on her, and then they go to the enemies and they go to protect her allies, and she has to call them and bring them back and send them out again while she herself is running into battle with this big bow and spear and sword. And so yeah, she's sort of juggling this falcon mechanic of coming in and out. We've got so many different characters. Thracian Blade, he's got this thing where he goes through blade stances depending on which card position your cards are in, and so you're juggling to try and get all the advantages you can by playing off the battle flow system that we have in the game, which kind of simulates the flow of combat and how you place your ability cards on cooldown, and then they move around your board as you trigger them with other cards. So you're trying to get the most efficient flow back into your hand so you can get them out again. So he spends a lot of time manipulating that. So lots of cool characters that we were able to get out. We've got this kind of cool mystery box that we gave out to the backers, and that's quite exciting. I can't tell you what it is, but it's been wonderful. Like we're really happy that we were able to make and get it in the box. So that'll be coming too. Can't wait to see what people say when they get it.
That'll be awesome. So tell me the evolution behind deciding to do those giant miniatures, because they're pretty impressive, and I can't wait to see these.
Yeah, they're a bit OTT, aren't they? They're a bit massive. There's a bunch of sort of things that we want to do. One of the things we were passionate about was creating realistic scale. Realism is really key to the game. We wanted to make it so that the story felt real. You felt like you were just normal people having to battle nightmares, and what that looks like, to really make it so the stakes are high, and to try and keep them high through the story and through the combat. And one of the things that was feeding into that is the aesthetics of the game. So we have this wonderful artist, Don Jean-Lou, and Don Valu, his brother. They make these incredibly realistic, beautiful pieces of art for the game, and then we're able to make, because of the scale we went to, we're able to make realistically proportioned miniatures in really high detail. So that allows us to do all kinds of nice stuff with the posing and with the just that feeling of realism that you get. So there's a lot of presence on the board with these models. That obviously says that if you're having characters that are sort of this big, though, you need monsters that are like this big to kind of scale it right. So we had that. The other thing that going to that scale allowed us to do was actually do our armory. So one of the things we're trying to do, which another kind of mad dream, was building, making it so that you can quick swap the weapons on your characters without glue. So you can actually push fit these the weapon that your character is carrying onto your model, and then swap it quickly between different loadouts. So that's one of the things that the collectors are getting. The collectors all in, and those that bought the armory box, they're getting the ability to actually custom make these characters, all their cool things. So you can have the Exile with like two hammers, and then you can have him with a giant scythe, and you can have all these different loadouts as they go through it, and you just get to
awesome.
Get to build it out, which is nice. I think that's kind of a bit of a first. So hopefully people really enjoy that one. So I said there's quite a few mad dreamy kind of things going on with this game.
Yeah, that's really cool. And you said during the campaign you had some fan artwork come in?
Oh yeah, my goodness. It's really nice, actually, an opportunity to say thank you to everybody who was part of that campaign and been part of all the community stuff since, where the community just really got hold of this game and ran with it. And so we started doing some art contests and some short story contests, building up the lore and letting people kind of do their own thing with the world, with their artwork. And we just had some fabulous pieces of art, just mind blowing. And so we had dozens of great artworks we've had cosplayers making suits of Ursus armor. We've had people like knitting Adendri Rangers, doing like crocheting stuff. We've had these incredible like professional level pieces of artwork and just some fabulous stuff. So the art side of things. Then we had all these short stories. So we've now got like an archive of short stories. And one of the nice things we're able to do, because we've got an art book and we've got Space Marine, but we're going to be able to add those short stories into the art book and into the other piece of art will be there. So the community is actually going to be like represented through that. That's really exciting to be able to do that. So I'm just so thankful to everyone for that community engagement. It was just fabulous.
Yeah, and that storytelling. I mean, these are some deep storytelling you have in this game. It's really impressive.
Took a long time. We spent a solid year just building the world out before we even touched the game proper. Even the concept of the Deepwood itself, we stumbled into that like several months in and realised that was the hook. That was it. Once you had the Deepwood, that was the place that everything was going to go down. But we started way up. We started at the metaphysics of the universe and built it up from the ground up because we wanted to build something that people could care about. And that people are going to be that passionate about something. When there's something and there's a new game like this, people really get into it and they're always going to go deeper than you could even go. It's amazing how much people know about the world now, and we're happy we got to spend the time, building out all the cities, all the peoples, all the races, all the classes, and then the great mystery of the Deepwood itself.
That's awesome. And so, before I let you go, two things. So, what is it about the campaign and where the game is going, and now where it is? What is it about it that makes you most excited? And then, finally, if you could give folks just a status update or where you stand in the development process.
I'm just excited for people to get hold of this now. So one of the things that's been happening, another great thing about the community, is they've been helping us left, right, and centre with playtesting, and it's brilliant to see how they're taking the game and they're improving it, they're playtesting it, and it's lovely to see people enjoying something, right? I just love this idea of putting fun in a box, which is board game design. It's just great to be able to just, hey, here's a box of fun, enjoy. And I can't wait for people to get that en masse. That's going to be great. In terms of where we are, so this is the last month of our pledge manager. So we're closing the pledge manager at the end of March, last day of March, midnight, and so it's kind of a last chance to kind of get in on it before we kind of go to production. So there's an opportunity there to kind of go there. If you want to go to the Kickstarter campaign, you can see there's a link there to the pledge manager over at Crowdocs, and they'll help you out if you wanted to come and join us. There's still a bit of time to get on the road with us into the Deepwood. Nice. But yeah, and so everything's going really, really well. Actually, it's been really wonderful actually, and we've been the gears have been turning like you wouldn't believe, just improving the game, getting it going. And we've got so many great professionals on the team helping us churn this out that we're just excited.
That's fantastic. All right, folks, so you definitely should go check out that campaign manager if you're interested in this game. And obviously, just a big thanks to all the current backers of this game. I'm, for one, very much looking forward to seeing this game out and in the world. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Jamie, thanks so much for joining us today and giving us an update. Really appreciate it. All right, folks, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas, for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando, in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.